I've got an off docket matter.
Okay, what's your contract?
It is 2553123.
Okay.
Mr. Haygood,
Yes.
and he's here, and we're asking for a walkthrough. And they've spoken with the complainant.
Let's, hey, good, come up, please. Mr. Burns, are you hearing this too? Oh, you have, You are Mr. Haygood.
Sir.
Mr. Haygood, you are charged with violation of a bond condition or protective order. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay, Sebastian.
All right, on February 24th, 2025, officer was dispatched in reference to a possible violation of protective order and made contact with Patty first. Stated that her ex attempted to contact her via Fortnite on an Xbox game system.
It's my jam. Fortnite? Okay. It's my jam.
He stated that she received messages under a username, OBT Haygood and LLUVVMEE. Message she received stated, saying, "Hey, you, I miss your voice," and then received several friend requests. And she knew that the complainant would have stated that from prior experience, that was linked to the defendant's.
So he's trying to contact you through Fortnite.
Right, through the messaging system at the Xbox.
Right. Okay. All right. Mr. Haygood, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I want you to know now that the Texas Constitution does not allow me, but in very, very limited circumstances, to have a hearing to hold someone at no bond. You are now charged with a violation of protective order, and I'm putting conditions on your bond now. If I find that you violate these conditions, I can have a hearing to hold you at zero bond, no bond, and I will do it in a heartbeat to protect every person in this county. Do you understand?
Yes, sir, I understand.
So the problem is that he's got an impeding breath, I guess, against the same person now, right?
Yes, Judge. Just for the court's awareness, with the complainant, she's not on the ward or anything like that. I think counsel and I have agreed that, no contact is going to be best moving forward. There's some issues with the cases that we'll look over,
Okay.
but just wanted to bring that to your attention.
What about bond? Because we need to set a bond and,
There's a $5,000, or I think they've requested a $5,000 bond.
okay.
I'm asking for a $1,000 bond. And if I may, Your Honor, during the altercation, I showed the state a video that shows her being very violent. And during that altercation, his Xbox was broken. So he's denying I don't know how Xbox works, and I don't know how Fortnite works.
Hey, you never played Xbox?
Judge, my 10-year-old plays
PlayStation
it.
or an Xbox?
My 10-year-old plays it excessively, but
You've never played Xbox? You know, come
I
on.
don't. I mean, I've tried a little bit, but 2 minutes.
Oh my Lord. I mean,
I can't. I just get killed.
help me. I know what you're getting for Christmas. It's not the worst in the world, Mr. Haygood, but no means no. And I want you to understand that we're absolutely serious. If I find that you try to message this person through any means, I'm going to put you in jail. Do you understand?
I understand.
I believe that everybody deserves a chance, but I'm only going to give you one. I will not give you any more. Understand? So I'll set the bond at $3,000. I'm going to grant you a PR bond today, but you're not going to get another one. You will sign orders now not to have any contact with this person, not to use any marijuana, not to use any alcohol, illegal drugs. If I find that you're using, you pick up another case or you try to have contact by any means necessary, I don't care what it is, I will put you in jail.
Sure.
You understand?
I understand clear as day.
So it's a bond set at 3. PR bond granted. And then, I'm going to have him monitored through pretrial, so don't worry. So you're also not to be in possession of weapons as well. So you've got a lawyer, just listen to him. He'll take care of you, even though he doesn't play Xbox. And then just You know what's right. You know what's wrong.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Good luck.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks.
Case number on the bond.
Oh, it's 255-3120.
31.
Okay. So Mr. Glover, you have picked up a burglary of a motor vehicle. You've also picked up an assault of a family member. On both of those cases, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You've worked out an agreement where they're offering you 120 days in jail with credit for the 66 on the assault and 68 days on the burglary of a motor vehicle. You need to understand that both of these cases will go on your record. They will be there for the rest of your life. On the assault case, there's an affirmative finding of family violence, meaning if you pick up another one of these, you will be facing a 3rd-degree felony, 2 to 10 of the penitentiary. And if you've been to the pen, it could be just, they can continue to enhance your punishment, perhaps 5 to life, 15 to life. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
On the burglary of a motor vehicle, that is also an enhanceable offense, meaning you continue to pick up those cases. At some point, they'll hit you with a felony on that as well. Do you understand?
Sir.
From now on, you're facing a minimum of 90 days in any misdemeanor court here in the state of Texas. Any misdemeanor you pick up, it's a minimum of 90 days in jail. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, there's no turning around. This is stuck. It'll be there forever. Is this what you want to do?
Sir.
You also need to understand that if you're on parole, pleading guilty to both of these cases, they may revoke your parole, sending you back to prison. What is ISF? I don't know what's going to happen, but they can revoke your parole, send you back to prison. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You still want to do all this? How do you plead to the assault and the burglary of a motor vehicle, guilty or not guilty? I'm going to find you guilty. I will sentence you to both cases. I'm going to roll your court costs so you won't owe anything. Good luck to you, Mr. Glover. Thanks, Will.
Thanks, Judge.
Yeah, so we have Jose Guerrero. This is an old case. It's from 2020.
You have another Guerrero?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
So it's an old case. It's from 2023. The state wanted a 30-day reset to look over the case to
There's
see.
a 2B warrant, Judge.
Okay. Is discovery complete on the case?
It says the 911 call is still in progress. It was requested on the 14th, but I mean, if it's from 2023, I don't know if they would still have records of 911.
Yeah, I think they keep them,
Oh, wait, no, that's on the phone. I apologize. Yes, discovery is completed. Besides, we need to subpoena for the medical records.
do you have an offer in the case?
No offer yet because this case just came onto my docket, so I'm trying to reach out to the complainant to see if I can get in contact with him first before I make any offer.
Okay. So he's really just, it's been in,
Yes, the first setting on this case was on January 13th, 2025.
yes, so they filed it to be December of 23. And looks like he didn't get picked up until, January of this year. So we'll just give you like a normal,
Thank you.
just, right. So it's like, how long have you been on it? Did you just get appointed?
Yes, well, I've been on since the January.
Do like
setting.
settings. I mean, you don't have to just have 30 days. Well, normal because it's been in just the 2 weeks.
Okay.
Right?
Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
Back on Jose Guerrero, do you have any other bond conditions aside from the ones from the magistrate?
Is this the one that we revoked?
No, that was Guadalupe Guerrero. What Jose Guerrero, we were just talking about if that was the 2B.
He's in jail?
No, he's here.
Come up, Jose Guerrero. So he has a felony assault from January
Yes.
and then our assault here. Let's do PC because I don't remember anything.
Okay.
Morning, on.
Mr. Guerrero, you were charged with assault causing bodily injury. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
On June 14th, 2023, an officer was dispatched to a residence in reference to an assault call for service. The complainant entered into a storefront to make the report. The officer identifies the complainant by his hunter's identification card. The complainant stated that he and his family were at their residence in Houston, Harris County, Texas on June 10th, 2023. And he stated that some friends later identified as the defendant came over to the residence to discuss the complainant working at their residence located in Cleveland, Texas. The complainant described the defendant to be in his mid-20s to early 30s, and they were all sitting around. And Miss Bougon asked the complainant if they could drink while they ate. The complainant did not have any issues saying yes to the request. Then Miss Bougon then asked the complainant if he could play music while they ate, drank beer, and talked. The complainant stated that while he was looking down at his phone attempting to start playing music, the complainant's son, Jose, struck him in the face with his left side, causing it to be swollen. The complainant stated he believed it was a close fist punch, but was not sure due to him looking at the ground at his phone. After the defendant struck the complainant, all three parties left the premises. The complainant stated that after the altercation on June 11, 2023, he felt pain and discomfort in his mouth and thought it was a broken tooth, but the pain got increasingly worse, where he felt like he needed to go to the emergency room. The complainant went to the hospital at a later date and then called officers on 2:30.
Okay, so what happened in the felony case then, please?
Yes, so on January 12, 2025, an officer met with the complainant who stated her boyfriend began going through her phone and accused her of cheating. The defendant grabbed the complainant by her arms and squeezed them, causing pain. The defendant then punched her in the face and threw her to the floor. The defendant then stomped on the complainant's head several times, causing pain and for her to bleed from both ears.
Mr. Guerrero, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm going to do everything in my power to protect every person of Harris County. Do you understand? If I find that you become a danger in any way whatsoever, I'm going to make your bond so high you're going to have teeth falling out. Do you understand?
I understand.
You are not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, unprescribed controlled medication, and I'm going to test you like crazy. In fact, I'm going to send you for a drug test right now. Do you understand? If I find that you're using, it's really not going to go well for you. You're not to have any contact with the complaining witness in this case, not to go where they live, where they work, anywhere. Can you run his license, see if he has a valid Texas driver license? Submission.
It says that, oh wait. It says, his CDL is
Cortez?
licensed.
If you do not have a Texas driver license and or liability insurance in your name, you are also not allowed to drive. Do you understand? Okay, so I'm sending him for a drug test now. If you fail to go test, if you fail to come back, a warrant for your arrest will issue. Take the test, you must come back. Okay, take a seat for me.
Before reset.
Mr. Flores, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. This is a second that's being reduced to a first, correct?
Yes, Judge, that's correct.
Mr. Flores, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement where they're now reducing your DWI to a Class B first offense, but you need to understand 2 and 1 and 1 still make 2. You pick up another DWI. What happens?
Yeah, it's on.
No, wrong. What happens? Up to 10 years in prison. And you don't have to be falling down, slippy ass drunk to pick up. All you need is just the mildest odor. They pull you over. They look at your record. Boom, it's over. Do you understand? Even if you've had a sip of alcohol, I would never get into a car because it's a huge risk. Do you understand? The agreement that you have worked out, Mr. Flores, is there. It is a 180-day jail sentence to be probated for 12 months. You must do a repeat offender DWI education class. 3 victim impact panels. Substance abuse treatment. You must do a TRAS, which is an evaluation to see what other conditions you may need. If they assess other conditions, you must fulfill them. No breath test refusal. If you are pulled over in a car and an officer asks you to submit a breath test, you must do it while you're on this probation. If you don't, then you're in violation of this probation and you will get a warrant issued for your arrest. No drugs, no alcohol, guardian interlock, and 25 hours of community service. Is this how you understand the agreement?
I understand.
You also need to understand that DWI is big business. Because this is a second offense, you will be required to pay the DPS supervisor fee. So that is now a $3,000 that you will be required to pay. And if you don't, then you will sit every day, 1 day in jail for every $100 you owe. Somehow I have to get your attention. And if it's not by money, then it will be through. Do you understand? It's unacceptable. Every single day, someone dies from a DWI in our county. No more. Do you understand? If you violate this probation, a warrant for your arrest will be issued. You will go to jail and I'm going to bring you back out and you are looking at 180 days in jail. That means no drugs, no alcohol. You must do your classes on time. You pick up a new case, it's just not going to go well for you. You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront, cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. How do you plead to this offense? Guilty or not guilty, sir?
Guilty.
I'm going to find you guilty. I will send you to this agreement. So how much is the total for everything?
Everything.
With the 3,000, please.
Ian Brown?
Here's the other thing, Mr. Flores. Because you are taking an additional DWI education class, DPS may suspend your license. So before you start driving, you need to look and you need to contact DPS to see if your license is eligible. If it is not, you cannot drive. If you drive on a suspended license, you're in violation of this probation. Do you understand? Mackenzie, do you mind running his license now? Please? So we can do the, divide it out by year.
His driver's license is not eligible, Your Honor.
You are not allowed to drive. You will be signing up an affidavit with me today promising me you're not going to drive. If I find that you drive, and I don't care what your excuse is, it's really not going to go well for you. Do you understand? Okay.
The court costs, including DPS fine, is $3,500.
Handheld device.
35 points.
That's including $50 payment.
Okay, so the total amount that you will be required to pay is $3,520. You will be able to pay it through while you're on probation because they will put you on a payment plan. I'm going to tell you, you get caught up again, it's a ton of prison time. You understand? All right, good luck, sir. Thank you, guys. Hi.
Back on Mercedes Spinks, you had indicated that you would lower her bond to $3,000. I've spoken with the family, they will pay that. I
Wow.
have the
Okay,
waiver and the other one, so I just think we just need a bond order, bail order.
so Deputy Miranda, you mind bringing up Miss Spinks real quick? No. We're very lucky to have a family that's going to post this $3,000 for you. You need to understand there's serious, serious consequences if you fail to go back. You fail to go, I'm going to revoke this bond. I will set it at 0. The family's going to lose all that money. So do you want, all we're asking to do is go back to this jurisdiction within the 2 weeks of your release. Don't wait until the last day because it's Murphy's Law dictates what can happen will happen. And I don't care about excuses. So if you try to wait till 2 days before to go up there and my car breaks down, my dog died, but I don't care. Do you understand? So I would make arrangements as soon as you get out. Okay? All right.
I want you to know that she has a lawyer working right now to set up a court date, so hopefully she
I
can provide
don't
that.
care if you come back here and it's post 2 weeks and the lawyer hasn't done squat, it doesn't matter to me. Don't depend on whoever because it's on you if you don't make it up there within 2 weeks to turn yourself in. And they haven't done what they're supposed to do. They promise you the moon, sun. Okay, good luck.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great day.
You don't need another card, right?
No, I think I'm not right. If not, my daughter has mine.
Okay.
You want to do the?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That right there.
This is Mrs. Sparza.
This is Mrs. Esparza, or you may have her as Matthews.
Good morning, Mrs. Sparza. And you were charged with facing up to 6 months.
Keep it down, keep it down.
Facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement. They're offering you 30 days in jail with credit for the 60 that you've done. You give up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty to this, it will go on your record. You can never change this. Is this what you want to do? How do you plead to the offense, ma'am? How do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty? I'm going to find you guilty, send you to the 30, credit for 60. You also need to understand that this now makes 2. What happens on the next one? Years instead of years. Oh, this was a long sentence. Then you're looking at years. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
For a case of beer. Good luck. Okay, thanks, Lori.
Thank you, sir.
What's up, man? Been a long time.
Yeah.
Are you doing stuff upstairs more so?
Well, they had an opening out in Fort Bend. So with my firm,
So you're more now out in Fort Bend?
yeah,
Okay.
I'm handling a couple of felony cases that were already set for trial. So I'm here today for a pretrial conference. So I had somebody cover my stuff out there. I'm covering her, stuff here. So, yeah.
Are you here for who?
Miss Blackson, Bianca Blackson Newman.
I'm glad that you're here. We were waiting for someone. We didn't want to get started without you guys. So, all right. So your lawyer is here now. Ma'am, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Excuse me. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
On February 27th, 2025, the officer was dispatched to the 3800 block of Mason Road in reference to a suspicious vehicle call. Call notes advised there was an unknown female who was asleep behind the wheel of her vehicle, which was running at the time in a moving lane of travel. Upon arrival, the officers made contact with the defendant and observed her asleep in the driver's seat of the vehicle, and the officers removed the keys from the vehicle to prevent further damage. As the officer was doing this, the defendant woke up and attempted to put the vehicle in drive and leave the scene. The defendant was unsuccessful, and the officers also observed an open container behind the driver's seat and observed an odor of marijuana coming from the vehicle. The defendant was detained and admitted to consuming alcohol prior to driving, stating she consumed alcohol 4 hours prior, then stating it was 2 hours. The defendant stated she was probably drinking tequila. The open container in the vehicle was a bottle of tequila, and the defendant was transported to the police station for standard field sobriety tests. HGN 3 out of 6, walk and turn 5 out of 8, one leg stand 1 out of 4. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to breath. The results were 0.118 and 0.115.
Are you telling me that she's drinking while driving or is there evidence of that?
That would touch on any indication that.
Okay. Ms. Blackson, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or illegal drugs, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand? So does she have any prior DWIs, number one? Number two, does she have a valid Texas driver license? Alex, please.
One moment, Your Honor. Her license is eligible and no priors.
Got it. Okay. Ma'am, so you can continue to drive, but you're not allowed to drive unless you have valid liability insurance as well. You must have car insurance to drive. Do you understand? Okay. Now you have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. You do not have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with counsel and they will tell you if and when you have to come back to court. If they tell me they can't get a hold of you because you've gone AWOL, you pick up a new case, you become a danger to our community, I will revoke your bond. You understand? Okay. I'll have you sign a reset with Victoria. We'll have you get with Fleischer for your bond conditions, and after that, you're free to go. Okay? Thanks.
Thank you.
Great to see you, Robert.
Question on Mr. Weber. Let me hand this back to you.
State, did you see this? Okay. Can I,
That's what, yeah.
okay, so, can I file that?
Council.
I have seen these filed in deeds before, so I would imagine. Confidential. There's a.
Can you mark it confidential?
Yeah.
I'll put it in seal, I'll put it in seal.
Okay, that's it. Seal it. Okay, because I don't, yeah,
That probably should be.
good idea. Okay.
Judge, approach you for PC on this one.
Well, hold on a second. I don't even have them.
Exactly, that's my problem. He's in custody and needlessly, without probable cause being heard. I was told that that was the reason I was appointed to him this morning.
No. So I appointed you because we had gotten those two letters. I didn't want to just file it, and I wanted to take the appropriate action because we got those two letters. I don't know who sent it. All I know is that we got it, and I wanted someone. That's why I appointed you to see it. I don't know anything about probable cause. I just know that we don't have him here today because I guess he's still in processing.
Correct. So you will not entertain hearing probable cause without him.
I guess let's do it. Did the magistrate already hear probable cause? I mean, it looks like a magistrate already found probable cause. You don't think there's PC?
No, Judge.
Okay.
All right, March 4th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas. Officers were dispatched from assault call. Officer met with the complaining witness, stated that the defendant is her boyfriend of 3 years. Complaining witness stated that they got into an argument over where to eat. The complainant and defendant both denied that an assault occurred. Officer then spoke with the witness, who stated that she observed the complainant in her vehicle. The defendant opened the front passenger door and punched the complainant 5 times with a closed fist. The witness stated that she then observed the complainant and the defendant get out of the vehicle, and the defendant punching the complainant several times with a closed fist.
Wait. Okay, so initially, the defendant allegedly punches 5 times, you said? Or the witness? Or
The witness observed the defendant punch
okay,
5 times. The witness stated that she then observed the complainant and the defendant get out of the vehicle, and the defendant punched the complainant several times with a closed fist. Officer then spoke with.
Abel,
Judge,
there's no PC?
the CW says that no assault or terroristic threat happened.
Okay, there were
To
2
the
officers.
It's based on her feeling pain, and if she's saying nothing happened, Judge. If she's saying that she wasn't threatened, she wasn't threatened.
Well, no.
Whether 20 people or 100 people see it.
Well, bodily injury can be inferred. You don't need somebody to say pain. You can infer bodily injury from conduct.
So what about the terroristic threat?
So the complainant at the end, the witness stated that the defendant stated to the complainant, quote, "I'm gonna fuck you up."
Again, if she doesn't take it as a threat, it's not a threat, Judge. We might think it is. And we can infer all we want, but that's not.
I'll refer that one to the court.
Okay, so it was at the time that the alleged assault is occurring? He says, "I'm gonna fuck you up." And he allegedly follows through. I mean, I think there's enough for probable cause, it's such a low standard,
Well,
I don't agree. Let's agree to disagree.
Sure, and we can, right? But we have someone who's punched her 8 times in the head. You're telling me that's not gonna?
Well, I mean, sometimes that behavior is not that it's defensible, but it is permitted under the law, whether it's self-defense. I don't know, Judge. I don't know the whole facts of the case. I just have what the initial summary of the report is.
I think that there's enough PC to
Yes, sir.
start to go forward.
I'd ask that you grant him, based on what the CW wants that the case be dismissed and what she's saying from the get-go, that you grant him PR bonds on these two cases.
I'm gonna be opposed, Judge. I don't think that the conduct here warrants any sort of PR bond. I think it's concerning that, there's a complainant who was adamant that nothing occurred, and the three independent witnesses are saying that she got assaulted, pretty consistent with each other.
So let me read this to you. So let me read this to you because there's more. It says motions for bond conditions, MOA. Defendant assaulted and made a terroristic threat against the complaining witness, yada, yada, yada. Complaining witness denied same. However, there are numerous witnesses who heard the threats and saw the assault. Witness Kirby saw defendant swing at complaining witness 3 to 4 times and assault complaining witness. Witness Grantham saw defendant open passenger door to the car, punch complaining witness 5 times with a fist. Then complaining witness got out of the vehicle and defendant punched her 4 times in the stomach and in the shoulder. Complaining witness Sitpak saw defendant punch complaining witness 5 to 6 times with fists in the vehicle, 3 to 4 times more when she got out. I think there's enough problems. And I'm not ready yet. He's in processing now. We'll get him, because the problem is if I grant a PR bond now, he's going to be out and I can't put conditions on. And I'd like to put conditions on, and we can talk about it when we get him about a PR bond and stuff. Okay. The magistrate set bond on both of the cases. I'll keep it for now, and then we can talk about it tomorrow.
Yes, Judge. I also have Mr. Cortez.
Okay.
Would request a PR bond. Don't shoot the messenger on this one.
I will never, I'm never going to begrudge you for, zealously advocating, really. Let me bring him out here. Let me talk to them. Do you mind bringing Cortez out real quick, please? Are you ready? Let me talk while they're bringing out. Let me talk. Okay. You are Joe Cortez?
Yes.
Mr. Cortez, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and/or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you.
On March 4th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, officer was dispatched to a disturbance call and made contact with the complainant witness, who stated that the complainant witness is her father. The complainant witness stated that her father had arrived and was attempting to load a shotgun as he was upset from a previous incident.
He was loading a shotgun?
Stated that a witness, her grandmother, and her were attempting to take the shotgun from him when the defendant hit the complainant on her left eye multiple times with a closed fist, causing pain. She stated that as he was holding the shotgun, the defendant stated to her that he was going to kill her, grappling his hands against her neck, applying minimal pressure as she was blocking his hands. The witness stated that the defendant had been upset due to a car accident and that today he was loading a shotgun. And when her and the complainant attempted to take it away, the defendant hit the complainant in the face multiple times. Officers observed the defendant as he was still holding a shotgun shell in his hands when officers arrived, and observed a red mark on the complainant's left eye and forehead area.
He's currently unemployed and lives with CW, Judge. That's as far as I got with him in terms of anything going for him.
I got to tell you, your lawyer wants me to give you a PR bond, but Mr. Cortez, I got to tell you, you scare me, dude. You're on bond for a DWI third right now. You're allegedly loading a shotgun. You've got all this. You scare me. The last thing I want is more blood or a dead body, So don't say anything. I'm just telling you why I'm doing what I'm doing. Is my fear is that, something even more egregious happens if we give you a PR and you go back, there's nowhere else to go. And the last thing I want is a dead body. We have enough drama in this life as it is, I'm sorry, man. I can't. It scares me, I am ordering you now not to have any contact with the complaining witnesses in this case and not to go within 500 feet of where they live or where they work. Do you understand? I don't know if you're going to bond out, but if you do, I'm putting a monitor on your ankle so I know that you're not anywhere near where these people live. Do you understand, Mr. Cortez?
All right.
Life is too short to live the next 30 to 40 years in a 6x9 box. It's not. It's way too short. You understand? All right, thanks. Okay. Ms. Burns.
Question on Jacob, was that pre-trial house convictions? What was his last name?
Yeah. So you have Cortez as well.
Yes, yes.
This is the case that we spoke about
Exactly, last
the
week.
other day. Did something happen?
They were gonna check upstairs. He had a pending felony as well, just to make sure that we were good to go with what we had discussed. And they said yes, so.
Okay, so you got the, okay, I guess, right? Okay. Mr. Cortez, come on up.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
Good morning, Mr. Cortez. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement. They're offering you 3 days in jail with credit for the 2 days.
This is, we're pleading open to you.
Oh, you,
We're not doing time served. We talked to you last week about pleading open and a deferred.
it's not written as such then. Huh?
It's without a regret.
Because look, it says 3 days credit.
Yeah, that's how it was. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay, so basically, essentially, I guess the state and your lawyer do not have an agreement as to what kind of punishment, so you're coming to me to punish you in this case. Are you okay with this?
John.
Okay, understand that, you know, it's a first DWI, you know, we're all allowed to make mistakes, right? We all make mistakes, everybody's human. But the problem is if you continue to make mistakes and you endanger other people's lives, that's when we have problems. And that's why we have harsher punishments, because we need to somehow get you to learn you can't keep doing this, because at some point, God forbid, something happens where you maim or kill someone. That's what we're trying to prevent. You have to understand that what we're doing now, the proverbial slap on the wrist, will not happen again. From now on, you're facing a minimum of 30 days in jail. Not only that, because this DWI is going on your record, if you get pulled over, an officer's going to run your record, they're going to see that you're a prior DWI. If you smell like alcohol, what do you think they're going to do? Probably right. So if I were you, even if you've had a sip of alcohol, I would never get into a car, because it's a huge risk. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to sentence you to 3 days in jail. I will give you credit for the 2 days that you've done. But like I said, from now on.
We were pleading to defer, Your Honor.
Oh, you want to defer?
Yes.
Oh, that's more different, because here it says.
I don't know why the papers were that way. State offered time served. We were coming to you for a deferred.
Okay. Is this what you want to do?
All right.
Okay, so this is a big difference, right? The deferred, and thank you for telling me.
Exactly. Thanks, yeah, for probation.
So this is a probation where you must complete several things, right? If you do it, then good things will happen, right? What? Okay, so I guess we'll do 180 days. Probated for, I'm sorry, so we'll do deferred for 1 year. As part of the probation, you must complete a DWI education class. You must do a victim impact panel. You must maintain a guardian interlock throughout the entirety of this case. No drugs, alcohol, random urinalysis. So anything else that you would want?
Community service, did you already say that?
I mean, what does community service do? You know, I'd rather have him take a class and learn something than just mindless, just. Do you have any children, Mr. Cortez? Do you have any children?
Yes.
No? Okay, I'm just gonna do just these, even though you're doing a deferred, officers will still see this. You get pulled over, they're probably still gonna give you a hard time regardless. So, but regardless, whenever, no matter how old you are, no matter where you go, you're on a date, you're with the Queen of England, if you have something to drink, don't get into a car. Do you understand?
Gentlemen.
If you violate this probation by testing dirty, picking up a new case, you don't do your stuff on time, I will issue a warrant and we will have a hearing to determine whether you violated this probation. If you do, you're looking at 180 days in jail. Do you understand?
Sure.
All right. How do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty?
Counsel for reason.
I'm not going to find you guilty. I will withhold it for for 1 year, get everything done, and then things will go well for you. Is that it?
That's great, Judge.
We done?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you. All right, take it off.
Hi. Good morning. Good morning, Mr. West. Mr. West, you're charged with criminal trespass. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You've worked out an agreement where they're offering you 30 days in jail, credit for the 9 days that you've done. You need to understand that this charge will go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. You can never take it off. From now on, you're facing a minimum of 30 days in jail for any new cases that you pick up. Do you understand?
And there's also a criminal mischief charge he's pleading.
Oh, I see that too. It looks like the criminal mischief is going to be dismissed.
No, he's pleading to that as well.
Oh, yes. I don't have one.
I only got one, I didn't get another.
Are they not filed?
Should be fine.
Sorry.
I need a minute, I'm sorry, but let me see that one. I only have the first one.
You are harder to get a hold of than the Pope. Why don't you come to court? When you come to court, good things happen, man. You know?
It should have been, I'd be weighing gas and it should be hard for me to get up here.
Come on, man.
I'm not, that's the only reason.
When you come to court, good things happen. We have things that we can give you, cell phones, tablets, food, place to eat, place to sleep, whatever you want, we can give you. All you got to do is come to court. This is all the time. Come to court. From now on, it's now, because of the two now, you're facing a minimum 90 days in jail. Any new cases that you pick up. You go back to this place where this trespass was from. It's probably not going to go well for you. Do you understand? So on your mischief case, it's the same deal applies. It's 30 days in jail, credit for the 9 days that you've done. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront, cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, it will go on your record. You never take it off. Is this what you want to do, Mr. West? How do you plead to both cases, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
You're facing a year on the mischief and then 6 months on the other one. If you pick up any new cases, come to court. It's not hard. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
So I have Guadalupe Guerrero on docket today. I wanted to talk to you about his bond. He picked up a VPO. So I just wanted to see if you were going to revoke his bond. He has no bond in felony and I have no arguments.
Is he in custody?
Yes, sir.
BDR as well, Judge.
Oh, he picked up a felony VPO.
And one for us. I don't have any arguments, Judge.
Not Mr. Guerrero, please. Yeah. Lupe. I don't even know what happened, so let's figure it out. I mean, all I know is that this is a third VPO.
Correct.
You know?
Correct. The state has made an offer. He wants to think about it. If we can get a reset until after his felony court date, which is next month, I believe, April 23rd. And then on our next setting, he'll let us know.
What did you offer?
I'm Sebastian.
Or is this?
Yeah, Sebastian offered a tentative offer of maybe 90 days. He didn't put it in yet, though.
Okay. It'd be interesting to see. Is there an offer upstairs too? Do you know?
Let me check.
I mean, it's a new case. It's like,
It's brand new.
I can't imagine there is. It was filed,
Mhm.
5 days ago. So
Yeah.
No offer on the cases of
Yeah.
I mean, theoretically, we could have a hearing to hold him at no bond.
I leave it to the court. He has no bond upstairs. Regardless, he's going to be here.
Let's see, what did they say? Okay. Good morning, Mr. Guerrero. With us, you have picked up a terroristic threat in January of this year. A month later, you pick up a violation of protective order. It's now come to my attention that you've picked up yet another violation of protective order. I have no idea what happened in that new case. We're going to find out. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. The felony.
The felony? Okay, yes, Judge. On February 28th, 2025, an officer was dispatched to a suspicious persons call at a residence in Harris County, Texas. On scene, the officer observed the defendant across the street from the complainant's house. The complainant advised that she made multiple reports on the defendant, and on January 28th, 2025, the defendant was ordered not to go within 200 feet of the complainant's residence as a part of a MOA. The defendant was at her residence on February 27th, 2025, and stayed about 20 minutes and knocked on a window. On February 28th, 2025, the defendant returned and the complainant observed the defendant sitting on her porch.
So the newest one is from the 28th, just gets filed in March.
Yes. Yes.
Do we know if any threats or anything like that happened?
No threats are alleged. We've made 2 attempts to reach out to the complainant since the incident and she hasn't answered yet.
Okay. We have court orders for a reason, you know? We don't like to just put people in jail willy-nilly for shies and giggles. And I get that you have nowhere else to go, but a court order is a court order. You know, if you ever have any issues, come back, talk to us. Perhaps we can work something out, but you just can't do stuff on your own. It's not the worst, right? So what I'll do is I'm just going to raise the terrorist threat by $1. Okay. I'm not going to give you a bond reduction yet on the new case. So on the VPO, the violation case that you have with us, the bond is set at $25,000. On the terroristic threat, your bond is set at $2,500. You have a PR bond on that case. I'm going to yank the PR bond because we can't just continue to do this. I'm only going to raise it up by $1, but I don't know if you're going to get out, but how do we get your attention, Mr. Guerrero? You know? What do we do? No means no. So I am now going to place a leg monitor on you. If you get released, I'm putting a monitor on you and I'm giving you 1,000 feet radius that you're not to go where she lives or where she works. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you're going to get out because you're being held at no bond on the felony case, but if you do, just don't go back. That's all we're asking you to do. Okay, so
We're gonna get a reset into after the felony so he can think about it, the offer and see what's happening there and then.
okay, so the felony's set for
April
April 23rd. Do you want to do the day after?
Yeah.
Okay,
The day after.
I'm sorry, but we just come back. We can find you a place to stay, Mr. Guerrero. Doesn't have to be like this, really. All right, good luck, friend. So I need him to sign conditions, so
Okay.
before he takes off.
Okay.
So
I'll need a.
So Felicia, so GPS prior to release, no weapons, no going within 1,000 feet of lives, works, and then prior to release.
Yes, Judge.
And then, so 2501, please, on the terrorist threat, Guerrero. Good morning, Ms. Lazo.
Good morning.
Today's going to cost you big.
Me va a costar muy grande.
Get ready.
Prepare.
It's going to cost you big today, Mr. Lazo.
Voy, señor doctor.
You're charged of driving while intoxicated, second offense. You're also charged of failure to stop and give information.
Dar información.
You have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 1 year in Harris County Jail to be probated for 18 months. You must do a thinking for a change, 4 victim impact panels, a repeat offender DWI education class. You must also do a TRAS, which is an evaluation to see if other conditions must be added.
Tienen que agregar.
If they add other conditions, you must complete them.
Tienen que completarlo.
No breath test refusal,
Rehusar.
meaning that if you're pulled over in a car,
Pero
an
para-
officer asks you to submit a breath test, you must do it.
Tienen que hacerlo.
No drugs,
Ni droga,
no alcohol, guardian interlock,
tienen que usar un aparato.
$500 restitution paid to the first complaining witness, $900 restitution paid to the next complaining witness, 3 days in Harris County Jail as a condition.
Trabajar es como condición. Yeah.
What day to begin? The
first.
You said March 21st?
El 21 de marzo va a comenzar.
You need to understand that this now makes 2 DWIs that are going on your record. What happens on the next one?
¿Sucede con la próxima? Like what?
If you ever pick up another DWI,
Pero por
what
manejar
kind of sentence will you be facing?
ya estaría enfrentando.
Pues no sé, sería más grande, pero ya no pienso manejar y tomar.
Well, I don't know. It
No.
would be bigger than this, but I'm not planning on driving and drinking and driving.
You know how many times I've heard that,
¿Cuántas veces yo oí?
Mr. Lazo?
No lazo.
Sí, a otros yo sé que lo dicen, pero yo sí lo cumplo.
Stop. I want you to listen.
Pero que ustedes
Do you know how many times people have told me, I'm never going to do it again?
voy a volver a hacerlo otra vez.
Do you know how many times?
¿Sabe cuántas veces?
You never
usted
know what happens in the future.
Sucede en el
There's a
futuro.
death in the family.
Hay una muerte en
wife
la familia,
cheats
su
on you.
esposa,
You lose a son or a daughter.
un hijo, una
You
hija.
never know what happens
¿Sabe lo que va a suceder?
that will cause you
Que podría
to do
causar
something
que usted haga
that you
algo
wouldn't
que no
normally
hubiese hecho
do.
normalmente.
You need to understand that from now on,
Que de ahora
if you ever pick up another DWI, you will be facing a felony
estaría
charge,
enfrentando un cargo
minimum of 2 years in
de
prison,
2 años,
a maximum of 10
máximo de
years
10 años.
in prison.
10 años.
And you don't have to be falling down stupid drunk to
Borracho
pick up a felony.
para que le den.
The only thing that needs to happen is you in a car, you get pulled over,
Que no paran.
just the odor of alcohol.
Olor de alcohol.
An officer is going to look at your record
Que va a mirar su expediente.
and they will make assumptions.
a presumir,
And then you will possibly be facing a felony charge.
Inventando un delito mayor.
So if I were you,
Así que si yo
I
fuera
would
usted,
never,
yo jamás,
ever,
jamás
if you've had a sip of
hubiera
alcohol,
tenido un
get
tipo de
into a
alcohol
car.
en un carro.
Do you understand?
¿Entiende?
Sí, yo lo entiendo.
Yes, I understand.
There is also a $6,000 surcharge
Su cargo de $6,000
that you will be required to pay on this case
en este caso.
because it's a second DWI.
Que esa segunda
I told you that it was going to cost you big.
va a costar.
And I will tell you now,
Y le digo
if you don't pay it,
que si no lo paga,
every $100 that you owe,
en toda
you will sit 1 day in jail.
ya en la cárcel.
So you can imagine, because with court costs, you're probably going to owe around $6,500 to $6,600. You can probably guess how long it will take in jail to satisfy $6,600 at $100 per day.
$1,600 a $100 al día.
Es bastante, sí.
Yes, I know, it's quite a bit.
Somehow, we have to get through to you
Ustedes,
so that you understand
para que usted entienda,
this is unacceptable.
esto no.
The only thing we are trying to
Lo
do
único que estamos
is
tratando
prevent someone from dying,
de alguien,
because every day someone dies on our road
alguien muere en nuestras
from an
carreteras,
intoxication case.
alguien que está ebrio,
You are giving up the right to a trial,
tiene su derecho
right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf,
tenga su
confront and cross-examine your accusers.
carrera.
If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported,
Podría ser
excluded from the country,
deportado,
denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal.
su derecho a apelar.
Once you accept
Ya
this
cuando
agreement,
acepta este acuerdo,
you're stuck with us until you successfully complete it or you get revoked for non-compliance. Now,
ahora,
if you test positive for alcohol,
pasan positivas de
you
alcohol,
do something to violate this probation, like pick up a new case
Casos
You
nuevos,
do not do your classes on time.
clases, no terminan las clases a tiempo.
If you fail to pay restitution to the complaining witnesses, then I will issue a warrant for your arrest.
Una orden.
And on a probation violation, you're looking at you're looking at an entire year
Mira,
in jail.
año completo en la cárcel.
Do you
¿Lo
understand?
entiende?
Sí, sí lo entiendo.
Yes, yes, I do understand.
How do you plead to this offense? Guilty or not guilty?
Culpable o no culpable.
Pues soy culpable, pues.
Well, I'm guilty.
I'm going to find you guilty and sentence you to the agreement.
Sentencio.
So in this case, as part of the plea bargain,
Parte.
you're also charged with failure to stop and give information, which is leaving the scene of an accident.
Irse
And
de-
here we have two people that were,
Bueno,
or two different, I guess,
Vehicles that were
vehicles that were,
damaged, yes.
que tuvieron daño.
They were both struck by the defendant, yes.
any injuries?
Bueno, a los dos.
No, Your Honor.
Me pregunta si hubieron lesiones físicas, dice que no, su señoría.
We were lucky that no one was injured.
Tiene suerte que
Entonces.
nadie se lastimó,
No.
señor.
Because it's a second offense, I have to suspend your
Okay.
license.
Tengo su licencia.
I'm going to do it for a year. Because you're not able to drive, you will get a portable device that you will take with you so that we know that you're not consuming alcohol.
Para asegurarnos que no está consumiendo alcohol.
Do you have a portable device now?
I'm not sure which device.
Let me double check, Judge. I believe it may be a scram, but let me verify.
Agaste suma de-
Well, I have
Portable.
this.
He has,
So
Cram on his
what
leg.
we'll do is, once you get the portable device,
Tienen este aparato por
I will give you an order to remove your ankle monitor.
quiten.
I have been paying for your ankle monitor now.
Pagando por ese
I cannot pay for your portable device while you're on the probation. You will be responsible for that payment.
Eres responsable por ese pago.
We will give you a sufficient amount of time to pay.
Ponte tiempo.
I can give you a 2-year,
Puedo dar
3-year payment plan.
pago de un plan de pago de 2 o 3 años. Okay.
How much is it?
$6,400.
Estaba pagando.
The total that you will be required to pay is $6,445.
$145.
And we can do that. So that's around 200 and, you're doing it, how many months?
For 16 months.
This is, oh, it's 18 months. Yeah, so it's,
it's a green card code. So he's in the white already. That's what is in his hand.
I have
Then you
358.
have a green card. He's president.
Did you do 16 or did you do 18?
640.
16.
It's 18-month probation.
But the first month is not important, and then they like to have the fees by the last month, so we only do it by 16 months.
Got it, okay. If you need more time to pay,
Más tiempo para
we can
pagar.
always give you more time to pay.
Podemos dar más tiempo.
If you ever have any issues, all you need to do is come back and talk with us
Hay que hacer
and we
venir a
can
hablar
work
con
through anything.
nosotros. Podemos trabajar
The
en
worst possible thing you can do is just take off.
No pagar.
irse, not pay.
No,
No.
the worst possible thing you can do is just take off
Eres
and
ir
not do anything,
y no
because then
porque entonces
100% a warrant will issue.
100%
But if you have any problems, come, communicate with us, and we can always work through any issues.
arreglar cualquier
But I'm going to tell you now,
Pero le digo,
if I find that you're consuming alcohol, we will have a really
tendrá
big
un
problem.
problema bien grande.
Not to consume,
Puede consumir
and you're not to drive unless you have a valid Texas driver license,
gente,
liability insurance,
seguro,
and you have a guardian interlock in the car.
tiene un aparato.
I'm telling you, if I find that you drive without any of these devices and without our approval,
En su casa,
I will grow horns because I will be so upset.
está tan enojado.
Do you understand?
¿Lo entiende?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. Good luck to you, sir.
Buena suerte, señor.
Waive the supervisory fee, because we'll just have him do all this.